and welcome once again to Red Gaming Tech. My name is Marta. Today is the 27th of November, and this time I'm bringing you some comments from the Bungie COO, who's of course Pete Parsons. Now, according to him, Destiny and other similarly connected social games are hard to review. Now, Destiny received some fairly nice reviews, but there were some definitely low points that was not within the 9s and 10s you'd expect from such a hyped game as Destiny. But, of course, is still doing really well 3 months on from launch and did, in fact, sell like hotcakes. Now, when he was speaking to Games Industry, Parsons actually discussed Destiny's reviews as opposed to the actual reception. And he went on to say, quote, it is true, there are a lot of these people who are skeptical that are still playing it now. As we see games like Destiny coming out, it's very difficult to sit down for 9 hours, 11 hours and write up a review of a game like Destiny, right? If I were a reviewer, it seems like a nearly impossible challenge to do because there's just no way. You could barely experience sort of the campaign side of it and just PvP and no way get into all the endgame activities. So it really asks a great question, which is, how are games like Destiny going to be reviewed in the future? Now, you can certainly see the point. However, I think some of the problem may have been that some were approaching Destiny like a single player game, which it most definitely is not. Of course, it has a campaign and all of this, but it is primarily, essentially, an MMO. Now, you wouldn't try to review, say, the new Warlords of Draenor WoW expansion after 10 hours. That would be ludicrous. You could not really comment on this huge sweeping changes and things like that. Now, with Draenor it's slightly different because you can jump and straight away level to, I think it's 85 or something like that. But let's say Dragon Age Inquisition. That is a massive game, like multiple, like probably like 30, 50 hours or something stupid RPG. And if you tried to review that game after 10 hours, I'd probably laugh in your face. So certain games just don't review as well or as single player titles, or they need to be reviewed in a different way, and I think that's just the case. You would not review an MMO like World of Warcraft or Destiny or an RPG like Dragon Age or even like one of the other Final Fantasies, like the old school ones that didn't really get going till about 5 to 6 hours in, the same way you'd review a game that only lasts for 10 hours or 15 hours. So it's not the same thing at all, and I think some reviewers perhaps had the wrong impression going into Destiny, and that may have been the cause. Obviously, it's not a perfect game. I'm not saying they were wrong to give it low scores or whatever. It's their opinion at the end of the day. I'm just saying that there needs to be a sort of accepted way to review multiplayer games, and what I mean by that is that there has to be a certain amount of time set aside before you can say, okay, I have a good impression of this game. And how long that is, of course, varies from game to game, but I'd say at least getting to the sort of strong mid-game and having good knowledge and perhaps researched the end game, perhaps spoke to players and things like that, because obviously a reviewer has other games to review. They can't just play it till the end game. That takes a stupid amount of time and commitment. But by speaking to players who have experienced that end game content, getting their opinions, feedback from experienced WoW players, just for example, that would help you with such things, and that could have been the case with Destiny. Now, of course, that does mean you have to give people the time to actually get that far with getting their opinions and whatnot, but that was just one suggestion. There are multiple ways you could do it. I just think that multiplayer games such as Destiny shouldn't be treated the same as single player because they're not the same, and to be honest, I kind of see where Pete's coming from on this one, to completely honest with you. But of course, if you disagree and you have a differing opinion, do let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.